Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do another Monday market update, and specifically today I'm gonna give some information very helpful for the seller and also giving my opinion about whether this is a good time for homeowners to sell off their properties or not, right? But first of all, we're gonna look at a couple of data, real estate data collected from the Cromford Associate, and then also based on that information, I'm gonna give some recommendation for everyone. All right, so just dive into it. Let me share my screen, and then I'm gonna share you the very first chart right here. Is extremely critical. Not very extremely critical, but this is kind of a summarize of everything. This is a Comfort Associate, the Comfort Market Index. Okay, so here's the chart. All right, this is the Comfort Market Index here. Now, as you see, we already talked about Maricopa, Queen Creek, and Buckeye is in the buyer market in the last video. Now we see so far, Surprise, Tempe, and Gilbert just recently joined the buyer markets as well, because any index that is less than 90 points gonna be buyer market, right? So for the cities like Chandler, Peoria, Glendale, Mesa, Phoenix, up to Goodyear, this pack right here is the balance market, right? And then as I predicted, I think by the end of August, almost all the cities, if not all, are gonna be in the buyer's market right now. Fountain Hills still have a very strong seller market right now. Also, Paradise Valleys are also high in terms of the sellers market. The reason there's not a lot of listing for sale in those cities. Okay, for all the cities that below 5, there's a lot of listing coming onto the market right now recently. So therefore, it's becoming a buyer market very strong. Now, one thing I had to note is that the rate at which the Comfort Market Index change has been reduced. Right now, it's only about 24% overall. Compared to the last week is 32% overall. Okay, so we kind of still watching for it and see what's going on. But right now, obviously, we already have 6 cities that in the buyer market, right? 6 cities that in the buyer market. And let me 6 cities that in the buyer market, and therefore we have to continue watching for those buyers looking for that area, right? For those seller looking to sell in those area, you have to be careful and wait, because in the last minutes of the videos, I'm gonna share some of my opinion, suggestion about what the seller need to do in today's market. Okay. The next chart I kind of want to share with you is the number of active listing coming onto the market, so that you can have the feeling of what is going on right now. Okay, so this one right here is the active listing on the market as of right now. Let me show you. All right, so as of August of 15, around 3 a.m. today, there's a total of 17,522 active listing on the market. And as you can see here, this is a very nice trending up of number of active listings starting around week 14, that is around April, right? Going up, and it's keep going up right here. The green bar here is actually the number of active listing on 2019. Okay, 2019, and that start everything like 2020 and 2021 is going way below. It's now going back up. Okay, so we kind of see that there's a lot of active listing on the market right now for the seller. That means right now the number one, the best strategy to price, because you have to competing against all the listing in the neighborhoods, right? The best way for you to pricing your house is giving the range of pricing, giving the range of price that is compatible, what's the word, like the most attractive to the buyers within that neighborhood. For example, if in the neighborhood there's 2 other houses listed for 600 and 620, perhaps you don't want to be like 630, right? For example, this really depends on the condition of the house, right? But what I'm saying is that if you want to list at 630, make sure that your house seem to be stand out, right? Or you have to have a very unique features, okay, to make that adjustment. In fact, I would recommend you still list at below 600, even though you feel that it is more than $30,000. The reason is that you're gonna attract a lot of people. People are gonna see right away that within this neighborhood, there are two other houses that is higher than you, right? Your house has a better pool, for example. Your house also at the cul-de-sac, for example. Then it's less than the other two houses. So people are gonna be like interested in the property, in your property. So right now, because you're competing with a lot of active listing on the market, it is best to look at the active listing and see how informing the situation, how you can competing with other houses on the market, right? To make sure that it is sold. Because right now it is not as easy as a year ago, because you just have to put on the market and that's it. The next day your home is basically sold for $40,000-$50,000 more than asking, right? So it's not no longer in that market anymore. The other number that I'm gonna warning you is that we are talking about expired listing. Okay, so the blue bar is 2022. The blue bar is 2022, and we can see as time passed, there's more and more expired listing. Now, what does that mean to you? Expired listing, basically, you have to be careful because a lot of people incorrectly pricing their house, right? Because they still living in the market of, let's say, April or March or even last year, right? Forget about those, right? Because those time is probably past. You will not get those time back anymore. And obviously, you see here, the green is 2019 right here. The brown one is 2020 and the black one is 2021. 2021 meaning that the number of expired listing decrease every year. But now, as you see, we have a very nice trend of expired listing as well. So people are still getting, are still from wanted to be in the situation that you can list at a random number, and then as time pass, it's expire because no one buy that such a high price property anymore, right? So you have to be careful. Don't make your house expire on the market if it is expired, and if it already passed a long period of time. Then you have to redo the marketing, right? Discuss with the agent, or even hire a new agent to talking about a new marketing strategy so that you can get your home sold quickly, okay? Because you don't want to be in the same shoe of other expired listing. Okay, the next chart, I know that I'm gonna give you a lot of information today, but hopefully that information gonna be helpful for you in terms of making the decision whether you should sell your house in today's market or not. Okay, now the next three charts that I am going to show you is very related to the median sale price. Okay, this is the median sale price but monthly. Okay, this is the change in the monthly of the median sale price. Obviously, you know that it's go down. Okay, there's no subjection about that. Okay, objection about that. It's going down every month, right? Starting from May, we're peaking at 480, and now it's go down to 450 already. So every month it's about $10,000 reduction. Okay, every month is about $10,000 reduction as of right now, and that's rate seems to be constant, right? For 80 to June is about 476, about 4,000, and then go down to 460 in July, and as of right now is 450. So about $10,000 every month. So if you are continue waiting to sell, or let's say if you continue waiting to sell, and you say, hey, hopefully the future gonna be better. All right, we don't know that. We don't know that the future, what's going on in the future. No one knows, right? Otherwise, we're gonna be rich already, right? So for every month is gonna reduce 10,000. So let's assume that you're gonna wait for another 4 months before in December to list, right? So you have to think about the trending gonna keep going down. right? 4 more months is another $40,000 that you're gonna lost on average. Okay. So be careful of that as well. The next chart that I'm gonna show you is the annual sale price. Okay, the annual sale price. However, though, still see the reason why I like this chart is that it's gonna draw a better pictures in terms of profit for the homeowner as of right now. So this is 2021, a median sale price about 396, right? Right now, as of right now, it's about 466, 463 500, 463 500, right? So that on average, you actually still getting profit if you bought the home last year, right? It could by the end of this year, maybe when we redo the calculation, maybe is somewhere here 400 or 410 or 420, somewhere like here, right? Because right now we already passed uh, six 6 months of the year. We're already 50% of the year, right? August, and the median sale price is already 466, 463. So there's no reason. I mean, unless that the monthly, we just talking about the monthly gonna continue reduce 10,000, so which is not so much, right? So even if we do 10,000 for the annual median sale price, which we suppose not to, then we still on about 420. So we still have the profit of $20,000. Now, I know that a lot of you don't don't want to just earn $20,000 within a year. When you bought the property back in 2021, but unfortunately the market has changed, right? So long story short, if then which you think like if you are not willing to sacrifice those profits, then act now. Right? If you say, hey Long, I'm gonna wait for the because everything that I just tell you, right? Everything that I just tell you is just based on the data and based on the based on the data and just based on the my guess, my opinion, right? No, nothing is gonna be for true. But let's assume that every month it's gonna keep going down for another 10,000 because that's what we saw for the last 4 months. Okay, about $10,000. So right now the median sale price is about 466. 4 more months is going to be 420. So when you compare to the 2021 median sale price, you still have money, right? You still have about $20,000 profit. So if you are okay with those $20,000 profit as an investor, right? You don't have to do now. You don't have to act now because in the worst case scenario, you still earn profit of $20,000. In a better situation, what if the market going back up again? Then you have more, right? For those of you who have a very unique situation, for example, if you have to move to somewhere else, if you have to change the job, if you have to, if you don't like the current house anymore and you want to move, right? So be careful in that situation. You have to be a little bit wiser in terms of pricing is number one key right now. As I told you many times, is that the buyers are very sensitive in terms of pricing. They look at more houses than the seller. The seller is normally only sell one property at a time, but the buyers, they can look at multiple properties at a time. So they don't want to they can see it right away if it is overpriced. Okay, so pricing is very important, and if you have to sell, make sure that the agent or you have the right marketing strategy, especially focus on online exposure, social media, Facebook. With the COVID, even though we don't talk about COVID a lot nowadays anymore, it's still impacting the life one way or the other. So social media, Facebook, YouTube is still a very good channels to marketing and make sure that the buyers are aware of the property on sale. Okay, so those are my opinion based on the data. Right? First of all, let me summarize. Right, the median sale prices keep going down on the next. Well, first of all, the buyer market is now 6 different markets of Maricopa County, Tempe, Gilbert, Green Creek, Buckeye, Maricopa City, and I think the last one is, this is embarrassing because I forget the last one, Surprise. Okay, Surprise is already in the buyer's market. The median sale price is keep going down, right? It keep going down. We can see that on average we can assume this is the big assume. Okay, do not take anything like it's going to be for sure. Let's just assuming that another 10,000 for every month. So by the end of the year, you could lose another $40,000 because of the current trend on the market. Okay, so if you plan, if you are as an investor, if you're okay with the current situation, the current profit, don't have to act anything right now. If you are the homeowner, you don't have a unique special situation, you don't have to do it right now, right? Because if you do, then you have to pay for rental, or you have to buy another place, which going down potentially as well. So why do that, right? And keep the old mortgage, keep the mortgage that you are comfortable with lower interest rate. Okay, and last but not least, if you need to sell, for example, and the investors, if you want to get as much profit as possible into the market, do it now. If you have to move job to different location, do it now, and act very wisely in terms of pricing strategy. Make sure that you're competing. Make sure that you not only just look at the close comps in the area, but also the active listing on the area as well. Because here's the thing, even if the market value is at 600 for your house, right? If another competitor list for 580, so the chance, and then you want to list at 600, so the chance that you get sold over the other property is less than if you competitively pricing at around 580 or even lower to create a bidding war situation. So those are my advice for the seller in this market right now. I know it's tough in today's market, but it is showing that the buyer, but the way I'm thinking is that the buyers have been working a lot for the last 2 years. Now it's time for the seller. So we have to think a little bit more about the pricing. We have to make sure that we have the right promotion strategy to be able to sell your house in today's market. All right. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching, and hope to see you next video.